There are 5 things you must do before the 6th of April to save yourself tax. I'm a chartered accountant and experienced tax professional, and the first thing is to top up your ISA. As a reminder, an ISA is a tax advantaged account and it acts like a wrapper, meaning that anything you put inside that wrapper is protected from tax. So when you put cash inside a cash ISA and you earn interest, that interest is not taxed. And when you invest into the stock market through a stocks and shares ISA and you receive dividends or you realize a capital gain, those dividends and gains are not taxed. So all of the income and all of the gains that you make on your investments through an ISA are shielded from tax. At the moment, you have a £20,000 allowance that you can split across the 4 different types of ISA as you choose. In this video, I'm mainly focusing on a cash ISA and the stocks and shares ISA because those tend to be applicable to most people. You have until the 6th of April each year to use your £20,000 allowance because the tax year ends on the 5th of April and it's a use it or lose it allowance, meaning that you can't carry any unused allowance forward. In reality, only about 7% of people max out their 20k allowance each year. So if you can max out the allowance, you've only got around a week left to do it before the end of the tax year. Even if you are nowhere near maxing out your 20k allowance, the end of the tax year is a really good time to think about putting away more money, because the sooner you put some money aside into a tax advantaged account, the sooner your returns can start to compound, which can boost your returns over time. ISAs are really powerful when you invest into the stock market because every pound of capital appreciation that you realize is shielded from tax. If you are focusing on building your cash savings and you are earning less than £1,000 of interest as a basic rate taxpayer or less than £500 of interest as a higher rate taxpayer, you don't need to limit yourself to a cash ISA, especially if you don't expect to breach those thresholds in the short term, because that's known as the personal savings allowance. £1,000 for a basic rate taxpayer, £500 for a higher rate taxpayer, and it means that you can earn that much interest before you start to pay tax. So then you can really focus on finding the highest interest rate savings account that you can, rather than worrying about sticking to a cash ISA if you don't expect to breach those thresholds in the next couple of years. If you are an additional rate taxpayer, you are not entitled to a personal savings allowance, meaning that all of your interest is subject to tax. So then it becomes very important for you to have a cash ISA for your cash savings. Remember that you can have more than one type of ISA. So particularly with a stocks and shares ISA, this makes sense because often different providers have different investments that you can put your money into, and that's why I have more than one type of stocks and shares ISA. A really great ISA provider is Lightyear, who is sponsoring this part of the video. Lightyear is one of the most cost-efficient investment platforms in the UK with no platform charge. And there is no Lightyear fee for investing in ETFs or stocks through their ISA or general investment account. And there's only a 0.1% conversion fee, although fund manager fees may apply. You can make deposits quickly with your debit card or just through Apple Pay at a 0.6% top-up fee, or for free through a bank transfer. Plus, the cash ISA is also pretty great with a 3.75% interest rate as of today, although do check their website for the most up-to-date rates. And you also have unlimited withdrawals. I will leave a link on screen and also in the description box if you want to check out Lightyear's ISAs, but do remember that investing comes with risks and the value of your investments can go down as well as up. Next is to top up your kids' ISA. Remember that your kids can have an ISA as well, even if they're not taxpayers yet. So you can put £9,000 a year into your child's ISA, and any interest that they earn on their cash, and again, any gains or dividends that they realize on their investments will be free from tax. Again, it's a use it or lose it allowance, so you've only got about a week left to make the most of that £9,000 allowance. Now, I know £9,000 is a lot when you've got your own ISA contributions and your own financial commitments to think about, but even if you can afford to put £4,000 a year into your child's ISA, if you could do that for the next 30 years, they could have made up to £450,000 based on average stock market returns of 8%. Now, anything could happen in the next 30 years and nothing is guaranteed. 8% a year is certainly not guaranteed, but by investing for your child through these tax advantaged accounts, you are giving them a helping hand at becoming financially independent in adulthood. So please use this video as a reminder that the kids' ISA is there and it's a great tax advantaged account for your child, and by using it you can help your child to benefit from compound growth as well. Next, boost your state pension. The full state pension is around £12,000 a year, but you're not automatically entitled to it. To get the full state pension, you need to have 35 qualifying years where you're paying national insurance or you are receiving national insurance credits, for example, if you are a carer. Now, there could be gaps in your employment record, or there could be years where you are earning below the lower earnings limit, which means that you haven't got a full set of 35 qualifying years. So that's when you need to go back and have a look at your record to see if you can voluntarily pay national insurance, because you can make voluntary contributions to ensure that you get your 35 qualifying years. Now, crucially, you can only go back and pay for the last 6 tax years. So you need to check before the 6th of April, because the 5th of April is the end of the tax year, if you need to make any voluntary payments from the 1920 tax year, because if you wait and you miss that deadline, then you can no longer voluntarily pay for the 1920 tax year. That opportunity will be missed. Now, it doesn't take long to check. Just log into the government gateway. It takes a couple of minutes, but you do need to have your login credentials. Number 4, check your pension tax relief. When you pay into your pension, you receive tax relief at your highest marginal rate of tax. Pensions can be very confusing, but the tax relief will work in one of 2 ways. The first one is net pay. So this is where you pay into your pension and it comes from your gross salary. So it comes out of your gross salary before you've paid any income tax. So that means that the tax relief is automatic and there's nothing for you to do. The second method is relief at source. So with this method, you get your monthly salary, it's taxed, and then your pension contribution comes from your net pay after tax. So your pension provider will top up your pension contribution by 20% and then they will reclaim that 20% from HMRC. So if you are a higher or additional rate taxpayer and you are receiving pension tax relief at source, there'll be something further for you to do, because you have to claim back your additional tax relief from HMRC, because remember that you get tax relief at your highest marginal rate of tax when it comes to pensions. More and more people are paying tax at 40 and 45% because of fiscal drag. That means that the income tax bands have stayed the same for a number of years, but salaries have increased because of inflation, which means that more people have been pushed into the higher rates of income tax. But it's likely that these people are not always aware that they need to claim back additional pension tax relief from HMRC. And that's why, according to Pension Bee, there's currently over £1 billion in underpaid pension tax relief that HMRC is sat on, because people are not aware that they are entitled to this additional tax relief. In fact, it's estimated that there's around 800,000 higher and additional rate taxpayers each year who are not claiming back their tax. So if you are a higher or additional rate taxpayer and you receive pension tax relief source, then it's really important that you are claiming back your additional tax relief on your self-assessment tax return each year. If you're not sure how your pension tax relief works, the quickest way to find out is to contact your payroll department and to ask them, because they'll be able to tell you, and then you know if you've got a further job to do. Importantly, you can only go back for 4 tax years to claim the pension tax relief that you might be entitled to. So you've got until the 5th of April. After that, you can no longer go back to the 21-22 tax year to claim back any underpaid pension tax relief. Number 5, take an early dividend. If you are a company owner, you will know that taking a dividend can sometimes be more tax efficient than taking a salary from your company because of the tax rates. But from the 6th of April, the dividend tax rates are changing. So they are increasing by 2% for basic and higher rate taxpayers. So the basic rate of tax for dividends will go from 8.75% to 10.75%, and the higher rate of tax for dividends will go from 33.75% to 35.75%. The additional rate will stay as it is at 39.35%. But what that means is that you might decide to take an early dividend before those dividend tax rates increase if you're a basic or higher rate taxpayer, because it could result in a lower overall tax liability. But you do need to have enough distributable reserves to be able to do that. So let's say that you pay yourself a £20,000 dividend each year. If you took that before the dividend tax rates change, that could result in a 6.5k tax bill if you're a higher rate taxpayer, versus a tax bill of almost £7,000 if you waited until after April to pay yourself that dividend. So you've only got about a week left to make that decision, but just be aware that the dividend tax rates are changing and they will impact company owners that are basic or higher rate taxpayers. If you enjoyed this video and you learned anything from it, then please hit the subscribe button because it helps the channel to grow. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.